What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Comment here with another Reaction Wednesday. Now, this is a video that has a little bit of a backstory. So, I'm going to go full screen with it. FlightReacts. It's asking the editor does not like FlightReacts. This goes back to 2K. He talks like he knows what he's talking about, but he doesn't. He really doesn't. I've watched a couple of his 2K videos, and it's like, bro, what are you talking about? So, months later, this was a couple days ago, I watched a video of him in a 2v2, and I completely forgot who he was. He was the second person in the video. This wasn't his video, it was someone else's video. He happened to be the guy's partner. They lost. And this man didn't play any defense. And he was sitting there away. He waited until the other guy was on the other side of the court where he was away. He didn't want to say this in front of his face. He was like, yeah, man, I'm the only one playing defense over here. This man played no defense. So after I asked him that, he told me, I showed him the video. He was like, oh, yeah, that's Flight, man. Flight sucks, man. I'm like, oh, yeah. I remember Flight. So, yeah. He saw this video, wanted me to see it and react to it. So, here we go. Proof that FlightReacts is the worst basketball player ever. So much shade. All right, here we go. Right into it. What?
Oh, yeah.
Hit the rage. You belong in an outdoor court, buddy. You belong in an outdoor court. Like, you belong nowhere near an indoor court. Just after this one little 8-second, 9-second clip, you do not belong on an indoor court. Get your rage out of the court. No one wants it.
This is FlightReacts, a fellow YouTuber who has gained a very impressive following over the past several years thanks to some funny
Eat a sandwich, my guy. Like, come on. Grow a little bit of meat on those bones.
moments, ignorant takes, and infamous rages, or better known as his reactions. However, as many of us know, you cannot stay relevant on YouTube for any
I'm reacting to a reactor.
extended period of time without adding some diversity to your content. And Flight has been successful at this as well. He plays video games, vlogs, hell, he's even been in a few
I wouldn't call it playing video games. He's just kind of there.
relationships. But in my opinion, his most impactful content that he uploads are his 1v1s. These videos have become a staple in the community, not just because they generate more content for other creators, but also they are extremely entertaining. And recently, the frequency in which Flight has uploaded these 1v1s have gone up.
His buddy gets so hyped. Look at that. He makes it. Oh, I muted it. He makes his buddy. Look, he's already like, whoa.
In which Flight has uploaded.
You made a shot, bud.
Have gone up. So I have seen myself consuming way more Flight's content than I normally do. So much so that I believe I missed a few of them and just got caught up on Cash Nasty reacting to them. And while watching one of Cash,
that was the guy. That was Cash. Cash was playing with him, and Cash was doing 110% of the work. Like, first off, have you seen his shot? His shot is ugly, man. Work on your shot, man.
Videos, this happened.
Flight been playing so many people, bro. You can't even get count of how many L's he got in a row, bro. But
wait, hold up for a second. You're telling me no one is keeping track of this? Like, we all know Flight is bad, but no one actually knows how.
That's my shot. No, that's my hook shot.
Like, stay your Flight is bad.
Stay your skinny little ass away from my hook shot. Get out of here. Nuh-uh. Looks like he made it right there.
No one actually knows how bad Flight is at basketball? The answer to that question is no, because people have lives. Luckily, I don't. So what I decided to do was watch every 1v1 that Flight has ever uploaded, record all the wins and losses, track all his miss and makes, calculate
It's going to be like 2 wins.
his field goal percentage, so we as a community all know how bad Flight is at basketball. Now, I grossly underestimated how daunting of a task this is.
And losing?
So while I
made
do
it.
that, let me first give you a little bit more information on who Flight is as a ball player. Flight is right-hand dominant, and legend has it he stands roughly around.
I know Joke was practicing my shot, and today was cold for me. I was missing a lot. And some kids came to the park. I was tempted to run a 1v2, but I was going to miss all my shots. I was like, I'm not about to lose this match. I'm not about to lose because I'm on an off day to 2 children. I'm like, no.
6'3" and weighs about $155. Now you would assume that someone that tall would utilize their height to their advantage. No, Flight does not take advantage of his height.
Sorry.
Defensively,
How tall is he? I missed it.
55. And legend has it he stands roughly around 6'3" and weighs about $155.
Taller
now you would
than
assume
me.
that someone that tall would utilize their height to their advantage. No, Flight does not take advantage of his height whatsoever. Defensively, when it comes to protecting the rim, he's horrible at that. Giving some type of effort on that side of the ball, especially when it comes to contesting shots, is very lackluster. And when it comes to staying on balance and trying to stay in front of his man, Flight struggles significantly in this aspect, so much so that a lot of times he gets turned around. But if there is one glaring flaw that Flight has on the defensive end, it is his basketball IQ. Flight's defensive IQ is so low that even when his opponent is at a massive disadvantage, or even if they handicap themselves, they still find a way to win. Like the time where Cash had his left hand tied behind his back and still was able to beat Flight off the dribble going right. Or how about the time where Jessa was blindfolded, so instead of shooting shots since he couldn't see, he just drove to the basket and again still beat Flight. And then you had the game against Cheeseaholic, who is nearly a foot
I love Cheeseaholic. His voice annoys me.
Shorter than Flight and did nothing but drive to the basket going left. And in the middle of the game, Flight was told,
"Hey yo, he left-handed, yo, make him go right, yo."
Facts.
And then in the very next possession, still got beat going left to the basket. Honestly, if Flight just
dude, look at this
paid
dude.
more attention to his matchup and understood their tendencies, he would win way more games than he does.
Man, your life would be so less stressful. Like, he is so full of anger, so full of rage. And instead of trying to get better, he just stays the same. Like, my guy, I'm not trying to throw smoke. Hit the gym. Figure out, get that pride BS out of your head. Figure out what you're bad at and work on it. My shot is bad on certain parts of the court. So what I'll do is I'll go down to the court on my off time and just shoot from that spot or shoot from the spots that I need to shoot from. There's a tracker app me and Aston the editor use. It tracks all your shots. Every single one of them. You just set it up and it watches you shoot and it tracks all your shots. It's really good. And it's free too, so I don't know, man.
But then you have the offensive side, and honestly, it may actually be worse. Again, Flight does not use his height to his advantage, so he never posts up. Instead, he opts in for a face-up game.
I'm starting to feel bad for him now. I'm not trying to hate, man.
It's a shame because creating a shot consistently is nearly impossible. When it comes to his handles, Flight dribbles the ball like an ambitious 8-year-old who just got done watching Curry do some pre-game dribble routines and then decided to go right outside without any practice and try to execute the same thing he saw from Curry.
He
has no left hand. When he attempts to do anything that's more complex than just dribbling between his leg, he has a hard time executing that unless he is stationary. And even when he goes right, as long as you keep pressure on him, he's...
My guy, she's not contesting you. She's not contesting you. Look at the space. She's at the free throw line.
Unless he is stationary. And even when he goes right, as long as you keep pressure on him, he's bound to make a mistake. So again, because of these limitations, creating a shot for himself is a very daunting task. And that task becomes nearly impossible for Flight when you start to look at some of his shooting mechanics. Now, I'm not going to break down every single last thing that Flight does wrong because I don't want to make this video 30 minutes long. However, there are 2 things that I have to point out. The first one has to do with his footwork, which is atrocious. It's very obvious that Flight finds it very difficult to figure out which foot to gather off of. Because of this, any momentum that he would have is completely nullified, which forces him to shoot while he's on the run.
So that's one of those things I've been working on, but it's one of those things you don't know that you need to work on. Because you do it, it's hard to explain. It's you don't notice it. And if no one tells you about it, you're just going to keep doing it. Like, you are not going to notice that from yourself.
Which brings us to one of his go-to moves, and that's his running hook. But even that looks extremely awkward because, again, his footwork is all...
He doesn't hook. Look at this. There's no... A hook there, not straight. He's going... Like, if the basket's over here, he's going straight. You're supposed to hook. Look at his arms, straight that way.
But even that looks extremely awkward because, again, his footwork is all
straight
off.
up into the air.
And honestly, I believe Flight is completely aware of this, which is why his second go-to move is his hop step. But the one thing that is very interesting about Flight's hop step is that he's the only person I've ever seen in my life do a hop step and still doesn't face the basket, which basically kind of defeats the purpose of a hop step. And then the second thing that I have to bring up is that Flight almost never follows through on his jump shot. For whatever reason, he keeps his elbow bent, which forces him to either A, overshoot it, or B, shoot a lot of air balls. If I tallied this correctly, Flight has shot over 60 air balls in all of the games that he has played, which is roughly around an air ball a game. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how many games has Flight uploaded on YouTube?
60, 70?
Impressively enough, Flight has played nearly 50 1v1s. However, while I was doing my research, I decided to exclude a few games since they weren't fair matchups, and it basically kind of defeated the purpose of the whole video because it wasn't going to get me any closer to determining how bad Flight was at basketball. Those games are the 2 against Bone Collector, a game against DDG where in the middle of the game, Daryl not only decided to blindfold himself, but also only use one hand. This other game where Flight played against this young lady who looked like she never dribbled a basketball a day in her life. And then recently, Flight, for whatever reason, decided to upload a game against Little Terrio, who is 12 years old. Which leaves us with 43 games. In those 43 games, Flight has a record of 9-34. Which is kind of surprising because I couldn't believe that there were actually 9 people who lost to Flight. Those 9 games are LNU twice, Chino, SC, Dub,
Hold on, look at the height difference.
LNU twice, Chino.
Oh, I guess it's not as big as I thought, but my gosh. Plus, he's a little further back, so yeah, that makes sense. But my gosh, dude.
Chino, SC, Dub, Annoying TV, Miles Brown, Mopey, and David Spalmer. So basically, Flight beat a girl, a 14-year-old boy, and 6 dudes who look like they haven't played basketball in over 5 years. Now you may be wondering, out of those 9 wins, which one was Flight's best game? And that is easily against Annoying TV. And in that game, Flight shot nearly 43% from the field and 50% from behind the arc. And of course, he got a W. However, in an act to be transparent, that game only went to 5 points, and Annoying TV might actually be the worst ball player I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, no! Yo, I want to know where they are and where they're getting these players, man. I want to 1v1 these guys. These are the guys I want to 1v1.
But hey, that is indeed Flight's best game.
No, you know what? I don't. Because I do better when I lose. Like, I get better. The progression happens when you lose. Unless you're this man.
Now, some of you all may be wondering, well, what's Flight's worst game? And that one's a little bit more trickier because Flight has had multiple outings where he went scoreless. Flight couldn't buy a basket in both of the games he faced Soul Illuminati, and in their first outing he shot 0 for 11 from the field and 0 from 6 from deep.
This man
he also went scoreless against B-Lou, where he shot 0 for 14 from the field and 0 from 6 from behind the arc.
Zero, zero. Yo, this man must work at Dunkin' Donuts for all those zeros, my guy.
Dark, which is a very close second because in my opinion, the worst game that Flight has ever played was against Cheeseaholic. In
I
that
think
game, not only did he
Cheeseaholic
go
balls,
scoreless, but he couldn't even attempt that many shots because how bad he was defensively.
Yeah.
He only took 4 shot attempts because Cheeseaholic had
Good
the
on
ball for
Cheeseaholic.
practically
He knows
the
his
entire
weaknesses,
game.
which is
But wait, it gets worse
when he
because
steps on the
Flight
court.
was losing so bad in this 1v1 matchup that he forced Cheeseaholic to go to 15 points instead of the original agreement to 11 points, and still couldn't stop him and still couldn't get enough shots up to even compete with Cheeseaholic.
How far down does that go? My
Going
gosh.
scoreless. And since we're talking shooting percentages, I guess it's only right to go ahead and give everybody what they've been waiting for, and that's Flight averages. Out of the 43 games that I researched, Flight attempted 790 shots, but only made 184 of them, giving him a field goal percentage of 23%, which is ridiculous.
I haven't taken 790 shots just when I've been doing the recording thing. I've been keeping track of all my shots. I haven't done 800 shots yet. I'm pretty sure I'm up to 300 to 400 now. My guy. I'm not gonna lie, my game not good, but it's not that bad. You've got to get better with the losses. You just take the losses, you pout, you get mad, you throw, excuse the language, you throw things everywhere, kick things everywhere. Why don't you stop throwing a tantrum and start learning? Like, come on, man.
Ridiculous, but what's even crazier is that out of those 790 shots, 444 of them were 3-point attempts. And out of those 444 3-pointers, Flight only made 78 of them, which means that he's only shooting 17% from behind the arc. But what's even more laughable is when you do the math and you realize that on average, Flight attempts 18 shots a game, 10 of them being 3-pointers, and only averages 6 points. Yes, it takes 18 shots for Flight to score only 6 points. Now, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people who will challenge my findings. Fair enough. So what I decided to do is show my work. In the description below, there is a link to a Google spreadsheet. If you click on it, it will give you Flight's game log. Every single game that I utilize in this video for my research is categorized perfectly for you. And of course, just for the culture, I will be updating this game log every time Flight plays a 1v1 from here on out. And before we transition to the last portion,
this guy a real hater. This guy is a real hater.
of this video, there were a few interesting findings that I saw throughout my research. The first one being, if you remove the little Terrio game that he played, because why?
He played against Rice Gum? And he lost.
Wouldn't you, since little Terrio is 12 years old? Flight has lost every 1v1 game since October 29th. He is literally in the middle of an 11-game losing streak. The second thing that I want to point out are the games where Flight just attempted a ridiculous amount of shots. Like on May 1st, 2018, where he matched up against Chark and attempted 29 shots, but only made 3 of them. Or what about the more recent game against Jesser when he was blindfolded? Flight attempted 35 shots, only made 9 of them, and still lost that game. But I cannot forget about the game that made me keep count of all of Flight's shot attempts. And that's the game against LNU back in June 16th, 2019, where even though, yes, Flight did win that game, he attempted 39 shots and only made 9 of them, giving him a field goal percentage of 20.
So I think I get the main gist of this.
And finally, and the biggest reason why this video took me so long to make, we have Flight's shot chart. Yes, I literally took the time out to chart every single last shot attempt of Flight throughout all.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the concussion. Maybe it's because I'm tired. But I completely disregarded what I was seeing. So stick to 2s. I don't mean 2-point shots. I mean 2v2s. And get a good partner. You're going to need it. Like, oh my gosh.
3 games. And boy, oh boy, do you see a lot of red. And again, just
I
for the
have
culture, if you
same- I
want this
can't go
shot
left.
chart, I'll have it on my Twitter
I'm
at
working
Legend of
on it.
Winning. You can just follow.
It's funny. I 1v1 my dad today because I'm trying to play bully ball now. I'm a little bigger. I put on a little bit of weight as I'm working out, and I'm trying to play bully ball. And as I was going, my dad noticed me driving to the right a lot, so he stuck to the right. And I said, "Why are you doing that?" He said, "You can't drive to the left." Thankfully, I'd been working on my left, so I started driving to the right. Now I just crossed over to my left, ran right around him, laid it up. And I'm like, "Can't go to my left, huh?" Like, you gotta work on what you're not good at. And honestly, in my opinion, I think he just doesn't, and this isn't me trying to throw a shot at him or anything. I think he doesn't know where to start because he wants to be good at the running hook. He wants to be good at shooting the threes and the long threes. He wants to be good at driving in. He wants to be good at so many different things. He needs to slow it down. I know it's a little bit late now to slow it down, but he needs to slow it down, work on one thing, and do that over and over and over again. Then work on a second option and do that over and over and over again. And then start 1v1ing people. You have two options. Eventually, you'll have to work on a third, which could be that running hook shot. That's perfectly fine if you do it right. If you do it right, you can hit it every single time. Just work on one thing at a time, my guy. You'll get there. You just need to slow it down.
Follow me there, and I'll have it there for anyone to download or consume or however you want to utilize it. Because again,
so let's see this. Oh, it's color coded, but I'm colorblind. Does he ever make 10 of these? 2 for 16, 1 for 8, so that's the same. That's back in 2016. These are all, I'd say, probably right here is where I would say he should have started improving. Because at that point, it's been a year and a half. Math? A year and a half. Math? Yeah, a year and a half. And he's so far into the swing of things. Okay? Right here, he's putting up better numbers than he was before. 5 for 14, 3 for 14. 9 for 20 and a win? That just doesn't... 8 for 26? That doesn't feel like a win. What are they playing to? Surely these aren't all to 11 or 7 or 21. That was probably to 21. That was probably... I'm assuming he's not making any threes. So, 3 points made. Oh, he made 4 this game. Well done. That's his win. He only wins when he stands behind the line and starts... Oh, wow. He made 4 3-pointers. I don't know what to say, guys. This man just needs help. This man needs to slow it down. Is that recent? Oh, that was June. Okay. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, sorry. That was a heat check. Reversal.
If you shoot your shot, you don't miss.
That is the highlight of his career.
Make it a heat check, heat check.
I don't even.
Hey, you guys know who it is. The man, the myth. Listen.
I want to be Snoop Dogg.
Listen. Rice gum. Let's go. Out. I'm not sure. Twos. No. 2-0?
I could smoke rice.
Oh.
All right.
2-0. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
I just want to see this one.
If I just go to
I want to get back on D, boys. Ah, never mind. No, you don't.
Go! Side up! Right back! 2-2. I told you guys. That
hell
Jesser
freezing.
one was a warm-up. Now it's different right now. It's different. What they talking about?
Man, I'm telling you right now, if you're going to have a court that has that one, but it also has the NBA for three-point line, I'm just saying, if it was me, I would ask if we could use the NBA three-point line. Might as well. I mean, I practice from longer range than normal threes because I like the whole idea of limitless range, but I'm trying to also judge my shot. So I'm inside. I don't want to have, obviously, as much power as when I'm at the three-point line. It's getting that right judgment, getting that right arc on the ball. And all that's being measured when I use that app. It measures the arc that I have, the angle, measures my arm angle, my leg angle, measures everything I need to know to look back, it even records it. So, man, look into getting that app, man. Alright, guys. Well, that's enough time for me. Thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Conman. Please like and subscribe and comment down below for any suggestions, anything you guys want me to see. It can be anything I've posted before, not posted before, anything you want me to react to play, anything at all. Please, I'm bored. I'm bored out here, man. So please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.